Okay. Once you've been approved as an applicant member of the PSAP, you will receive an email, and after you log in and click apply, you'll see the option to choose your organization, which you should only see one, similar to this. Once you click, you will be prompted to complete the rest of the profile for your PSAP. So if you have a UEI or EIN, you can fill in both of those, but they are not set to be required. But you can fill in your authorizing official. I'm going to make one up here. Put CEO. And one thing to note on the phone numbers, it will only accept numbers, no parentheses, spaces, or dashes. All right. The additional organizational contacts are optional, but if you want to provide a list of other individuals that can be contacted in relation to your grants, you can add them here, as well as your own name if you are not one of the above two officials. Then the address is the last thing required. And then your zip. And then save, profile, and continue. Here is where you can put the name of the project for which you are submitting the application. So I'm going to put, I'm going to put test project. All right. And then from here, you will begin completing the application. So you will click start on the first section. So you in this view, you can see a list of all the sections of the application. To clarify, you can technically start in any order, but it would make sense to start from the first section. So you'll just click start, and then complete the required questions. And then after each section, you can either click next to advance to the next section, or click save draft and exit section. If you need more time or want to come back later for the application, but you can click either. I'm going to pause the recording and come back when I have most of the application completed. Okay. In this scenario, now what I've done is I have completed most of the required items in the application. Now, one thing I do want to note, there may be circumstances where, based on the category of project that you select, there may be one or two additional sections that appear. So just note that you may see those. However, once you've completed all the required elements and you save and exit the last section, when you come back to the main page, if you see any sections with a red indicator, such as this, it means that it's missing required information, and thus you will not be able to submit your application. So you need to complete all mandatory fields. So if we are to come back here, click add and upload. I'm sorry, wrong place. If I click choose file, and then I select the file, upload, and then now this is in this case, the required upload field is completed. And now if I click save, draft, and exit, I will now come back to the main page, and I can see that there is no red indicating that I need to complete required information prior to submitting. And as you saw a moment ago, there's a pop-up letting you know that you're ready to submit. Now, before I do that, one thing I do want to point out here is that if you have other members of your PSAP, your agency, that are helping with the application, you can invite in collaborators to assist with the application by clicking the Add Collaborators icon at the top, and then select Add Collaborator. Now, there are two types of collaborators that you can invite to your application. there is a collaborator, of course. Collaborators can view and make changes, but they will not be able to submit your application. However, if you invite someone as essentially a co-applicant, another lead applicant, they will have the ability to edit. They would also have the rights to be able to submit the application on behalf of your PSAP. So just want to note that. But when you invite them in, they'll receive an email, and when they log in, they will be a part of your PSAP org, and they will have access to the application. For now, I'm going to close this out. All right. Now that we've completed all this, two things to note is at any point in the process, you can generate a PDF export of your application by clicking here. So if I'm to click this once and click download, it is going to generate a PDF of that export, and then that is going to be available under your, actually, let me refresh here. I believe you receive an email also. It'll be under the downloads page. I'll come back to that in just a moment. So I think it's still generating. Okay, so once you've completed all portions of your application and maybe invited any collaborators that you wanted to assist with it, you can now click Submit. So when we submit, we'll click Go to, here you can either, if you have another project under which you need to submit another application, you can click Submit Another Application to start another one, or you can click Go to Your Applications. When you click the Go to Your Applications, this is going to bring you back to a list of the applications that you have started. Here we go. And you can see which one has been submitted, what the progress is. Here you can see I have another one that is currently in draft, which I could come back and continue if needed. The one that is submitted and click View. Depending on the process, you may receive other notifications if the administrators maybe request revisions from you. You'll receive notice. And when you receive a request to revise, the section of the application will be highlighted in yellow. And then when you click into that section, the question that you can modify will be highlighted in yellow with the administrator's comments. Outside of that, while it's submitted, you do not have any further ability to modify the contents of the application. However, you can view what you submitted. You can also you can also download the completed application from here. One last thing I will note from the application list is that particularly for ones that you are continuing, one thing I neglected to mention earlier is that you can review your application in its entirety. So if from your section list, if you click the review here, this will show you the entirety of the contents across all sections, including any attachments that you had that you'll be able to see and confirm that you uploaded the correct version in any attachments here. In this case, I haven't uploaded them yet, so you can't see them, but you'll see them in a document viewer here. So just wanted to highlight that. So you can review your application in its entirety prior to submission. Once you've submitted your application, you will receive a email confirmation, essentially, and then just watch out in your email for other emails that may come regarding either revisions or approvals future in the process.